are live. Hello, everybody. My name is Jen Barkin, online sales coach at Do You Convert, and welcome to Online People Talking, or OPT, as we like to call it. This series is dedicated to you, the new home online sales specialist. We'll talk about real life challenges, scenarios, successes, content, all just for you. And on today's OPT, we are joined by the one and only Amanda Martin. Come on. Hello,
Hey.
online sales coach extraordinaire.
Yay.
Hello, Amanda. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thanks for
Hey,
having me.
yes, if you are tuning in, definitely say hello. If you've had the opportunity to know Amanda, work with Amanda, give her some hearts. We love Amanda. She is just an amazing coach. We are so thrilled to have her on the team. And Amanda has been crunching numbers.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
our data guru on the online sales team. So we love her so much. She's been crunching numbers, and she has, as of today, released the Q2 benchmarks.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And we're gonna give us a quick update about that.
Yeah.
Before Amanda gives us her update, just as a reminder, when we look at our benchmarks across the board, we are really big on data integrity here at Do You Convert. So we are taking a sampling of our builder partners across the country, big builders, small builders, new builders, big builders, regional builders, old builders, all of those, but all of them count leads, appointments, and sales the same way across the board. So we want to keep that data consistent for you guys to give you those numbers. So just a heads up, that's what we're doing. So Amanda, what did we see in
Yes.
Q2? Give us an update.
Yes. So great stuff in Q2 for sure. So a few percentages that we saw. Lead to appointment was 41%. Appointment to sale was 21%, and the OSC contribution was 46%. So when you kind of look at this big picture, it's a slight increase in leads to appointment, and the OSC contribution. So that was really cool to see. But what was really exciting was the appointment to sale. So that jumped up about 2%.
Ooh.
So we were excited
might
to
not
see
seem
that.
like a big deal, but that jump is actually a pretty big deal from 19% in Q1 to 21%, right, in Q2.
Yes.
So what were a couple of the reasons that you think that we saw that jump?
Well, quality leads for sure. So marketers have really kind of figured it out. We're getting some good quality leads. So we love to see that. And then just OSCs are really able to spend the time to deeply qualify. Like they're not drowning right now, and they can really spend the time on the phone with the leads and fully qualify them and build a relationship with them.
Yeah.
And of course, having the inventory and incentives to help buyers, that's always helpful.
Yeah. I mean, builders have inventory, got some easier buying options out there for home buyers. And, with limited used homes on the market, right, new construction is the option. Now, one thing that we also looked at, and you'll see this when you head over to doyouconvert.com, you can look at the full blog and infographics and all of that information for you, and you'll be able to dive deep into this. But one thing we do also is kind of pull out those long-standing, like well-established programs and kind of look at those separate and see. And those programs are still contributing 50% of sales, total contribution coming from the online sales program. Amanda, what do you think the difference is, other than long-standing program, right? What are some of the things that you think contribute to that 50% difference?
Yeah, well, these are seasoned OSCs, so they've been in the seat for a while, and they truly are practicing 100% of the process, 100% of the time with 100% of the leads, exactly what we like to see. And they also have great managers who are involved in their program, so that is super helpful. And we always love to see that. But also they know how to keep check on their leads. Like they do system audits. They make sure that nothing's broken. They test all their sources. So that is, a really important part of our role.
Yeah. Too. I was with a team yesterday. Shout out to Arbor if you're chiming in. Hey. And they said, one of the reasons they have some great success is they have, the communication, right? Communication with their online and on-site team together. That it always comes back down to that communication between online, on-site, marketing, sales. That's so important. So guys, head over to check out that blog. We'd love to see what are your numbers looking like right now. If you want to share, definitely chat out and chime in. Yes, Jesse, communication is key. As Amanda and I were preparing for today's opt, we took a little bit of a trip down memory lane, and we're talking about content today. And if you're creating content from an online sales standpoint, definitely pay attention. Now, back in the day when Amanda and I were online sales specialists, it was kind of like the wild, wild west of content creation. We didn't know what the heck we were doing. We were just like, yeah, let's go out on site and create content. And I think we might actually have in the archives, Amanda, don't be mad.
No,
don't be mad. But I think we have in the archives a picture of you in a bathtub. What was happening? What was happening here?
This is a demo. Look at how great that bathtub is, right? This is great content. It's fun.
Yeah, Amanda in a bathtub in a model home showing what a great soaker tub this was. I actually was talking. So you guys, you might have heard me mention, some of you, is that my son Sam is stepping into the new home sales world. He's actually working out at a model home here in Virginia Beach. And he was like, hey, Mom, didn't you used to do like content like Ask Jen, and you would go around and do these demos just like Amanda in the bathtub? Yes. I'm like, yeah, I sure did. And he goes, send me something. So I sent him this picture of me on laying on a kitchen island. And he quickly sent it back to me with him laying on the kitchen island. He's like, I think I'm going to start imitating the Ask Jen. I'm just going to be Ask Sam B out in Virginia Beach. So I just had to laugh. And Amanda, was this even a good idea? I don't know. I think, were we pioneers? I don't know.
We were leading the way. We're authentic.
Definitely pioneers.
Have fun with it.
Let's get some expert advice though. So I'd love to bring on our resident content marketing specialist, Julie Jarnagin. Oh my gosh. Welcome to Online People Talking. We had to bring you on to give us your expert opinion. But let me properly introduce you, Julie. She's one of our amazing teammates here at Do You Convert. She has been in the new home marketing world for over 15 years. She's got all this experience. And correct me if I'm wrong, you started your new home career at Ideal Homes.
I did.
Okay.
As a marketing coordinator, I think was my title.
Marketing coordinator. Very good. And she is now a marketing coach here at Do You Convert. And guys, she wrote a new book. Here it is. Oh my gosh. I have my signed copy. Have a heart.
Oh yeah.
Official author, Julie Jarnagin.
Thank
Building
you.
Certainty. And I just love this. We wanted to have her on because there's a lot that goes into this. It's not just for marketers, but online sales specialists out there that are creating content and working with their marketing teams, and even just your own follow-up, right? Online sales specialists that you're doing takes into account some of Julie's great wisdom here. But Julie, this is not the first book that you've written.
No, it's not. I have written about, I think it's probably 14 novels. So think like Hallmark movies as a novel.
Hallmark.
So when I say romance, people are always like, oh, but they're sweet romance. But this is my first nonfiction book, and I'm really, really excited about it. It was the perfect like segue into nonfiction to do it for the home building crowd, because I love you guys.
Hallmark movies to building certainty for market. Guys, she has an actual website like that.
Oh gosh, I should go clean it up real fast for everybody looks.
No, she showed it to us the other day, and I was like, oh my gosh, you're so legit. I mean, I knew you were legit, but like, Holy cow, this is awesome. Okay, so let's get into why we wanted to talk to you, Julie. Should online sales, let's first talk about this. Should online sales specialists be focused on this? Should they be thinking about content? I have some opinions too, but I want to hear what you had to say.
Okay. Well, first, I'm like so excited to be here. I'm honored to be here that y'all ask a marketing person into your little world.
This is the first marketing person we've had on Online People Talking.
This is super exciting for me.
If you guys like hearing from marketers, let's hear some clapping because I think we need to have more.
So I'm loving this. This is fun. And I would say whether they realize it or not, they already are creating content marketing. Now, some online salespeople who are more appointment takers, which isn't anybody here, they maybe not, because all they're doing is emailing back and forth or on a phone call and setting an appointment. But you guys who are professionals and know what you're doing, y'all already are creating content, because basically all it is a message that's shared with a customer or a potential customer through media, is what I say, which could be a lot of different things. So you guys are already doing that, whether you know it or not. Even if it's just a written email about going out to a list of people about a community opening, that's content marketing right there. If you're sending a BombBomb video to a group of people on your list, that's content marketing. So you may not realize it, but y'all are already doing it.
Ooh, okay. So I want to break this down a little bit. So first and foremost, I want to zoom out and say, should online sales specialists be creating content? Yes, but when we talk about content that's out there, like sitting in a bathtub in a model home, like going out there and doing some videos and doing some content as it relates with your marketing professional together with them, that's a secondary priority. So here's where my Mama Jen, hat goes on, and I say, nothing happens until your lead management is taken care of, right? So that's first and foremost. But if you have the bandwidth, all of your first priorities are taken care of, then yes, you should get out on site. You should do some fun videos, right, Julie?
Yes, and the marketers are always looking for somebody who's comfortable on camera, who has energy, and that's stuff you guys are already learning on your job. There are so many people as a marketer you try to throw in front of the camera that maybe they're great in person and then they get really freaked out. But if you're already doing those things, then a lot of times you're really natural at it. And sometimes we don't know, if we're not your direct supervisor as the marketer, we may not know what your bandwidth is. So if you have an interest and it's good with, you've talked this through and you have the bandwidth, let them know and get out there, because you are really one of the only recognizable faces of the company that might exist. So,
is it considered content marketing if the OSC's face is on the website? Is that,
Absolutely.
So it starts there.
Pretty much anything on the website I would consider content marketing, because any kind of text, photos, renderings, tools that are on our website is part of content marketing. So yeah, it starts there. So like I said, you're already involved whether you want to be or realize it or not.
Okay. So starts with, website, calls to actions, getting out on site, doing some things. But do you think, what would your advice be to the online sales specialist if they want to do this? Go to marketing and say, hey, let's do something together. Like, what's some advice there?
Absolutely. First, I would start with thinking about how you already use and can use content marketing in your own role. Like I was saying, if you're already sending out BombBomb videos, just making those the best they can be. If you're already writing these emails, making sure that messaging is super strong and are well edited, and you're thinking through all those steps. Then if you want to take it a step further and be more out there, your face out there, I would say, yes, work together with your marketer on that. And a lot of times they're open to that because they want to make more videos. Sometimes they just don't know where to start. But I would say a lot of times people are like, oh, I'm going to start my own Instagram page. What you don't realize is that you already have the most amazing tool with these email lists you have. As marketers, a lot of times we're at this build awareness stage of people are scrolling on the internet, trying to look for funny memes, and we're trying to grab people's attention. Or they're on the website and they're in that just looking phase. If you ever worked retail and you're like, can I help you? And everybody was like, oh, just looking. We're dealing with a lot of those people. You're dealing with the people who are already excited, already interested, a little bit about them. So don't overlook how much your role already can use content marketing and how much you can reach people using that. And then, the other stuff is a bonus, and it's bonus for marketers to be able to have you available for those things.
Lots of wisdom here from Julie. So I love what you're saying is that, you already have this database of people, right? That you could go back and you could work and nurture and resuscitate. Speaking specifically about, let's talk first about email follow-up, because there's a difference between follow-up and marketing, right?
Sure.
So this is,
Sure.
this is online people talking. And so, we want to be careful for we want online sales to look super authentic and natural and real. So what's some advice for if online sales is going like, okay, I have this list of people and I want to create some content to send to them. What are some things they need to be thinking about as it relates to them specifically and not make it too marketized?
Absolutely. Yeah. First of all, I would say before you create anything or send anything out, you want to think about your goal for that piece of content. Are you trying to get a response? Are you trying to keep people excited that maybe it's been a community coming forever? Are you trying to set expectations? Maybe you're trying to explain something that's really complicated. So before you do anything, like what is your goal with this whole thing you're doing? Because if you're just like, I want to make a video, what am I going to make it about? It might end up being pointless. So that's not our goal. We want it to do something. So what does it do? Then you go into thinking about, well, how is the best way to do that? Is it just a quick written message? Is it a video so that they can get comfortable with me and see my face? Is it photos? Are there tools on the website that I can lead them to that would best explain this? Is it a blog post that we could write or it already exists that I could lead them to? So if you start with that goal, then think what's the topic? What's the best medium to use to do that? And then how do we distribute it? A lot of times it's going to be email like we've been talking about, but there's other ways. There's social media, there's the blogs, all the thing, everything on the website that marketers do. But kind of go through that process of beginning with the end in mind, like what are we trying to accomplish? And then going through those steps. And I think you'll have a lot more success with it.
A couple things you just said I wrote down because I was like, oh, I got to remember to ask her that is, what do you think about emails that have lots of different links in them?
I think links are amazing, but you also don't want so many links that they don't know what to do or where to go. You want a very clear, this is what this email is about. This is how it's going to help you. This is where I want you to start. Then if you need them to go other places and do other things, that's more future follow-up. You can do that in the next round. So I would say I love links. I love sending them to places, but just make sure, when when a marketer builds a website, always on the homepage, it's like, where do we want them to go? What do we want them to do? It's going to be the same with you. Like after somebody reads this email, what do you want them to do? Do you want them to reply to you? Do you want them to go to the website to go look at something? Do you want them to watch the video that's down there on the bottom? So it's just thinking through those little things from the customer's eyes, like why did the customer care and what do I want them to do next?
So I love that because I think figuring out, so the first thing you said was, what's your goal? It's like, okay, and that could be different. That could be varying, right? It could be updating a list. Like if you have an interest list, right, that you want to update, it could be, this is an older database that I want to kind of clean up and do some list hygiene. If that's the case, that goal is going to be different. You want to maybe ask a question to kind of see where they're at in life, right? Like what's going on. And then the second part of that I think is important for us to talk about is once you have your goal, though, you also need to recognize your audience. right? Because your messaging is going to be different depending on the list that you're sending it to.
Absolutely. And that's part of that distribution step.
Okay.
So yeah, you're thinking about your topic and what you're trying to accomplish. You're thinking about the best medium for that. And then you're thinking about your distribution. So we just said email, but it's just not so easy as just email. Like
Right.
what email list or who's getting it? When are they getting it? That all matters. How often are they getting these things? If you're sending them a series of things, how far are you breaking them apart? So it's all steps that before you just, shoot out something, if you just take a few minutes, it doesn't take that long to just strategize and think through from the home buyer's perspective. What do they need and what do I want them to do next? How can we best help them? And go through those steps. So yeah, that creating the right list, so getting the right messaging to the right person at the right time, that's really the magic that happens from somebody just, shooting anything out to anybody to people who are really strategic about it and thinking it through.
Okay. Now, one question we get sometimes from online sales specialists is like, how much is too much marketing in a month? Amanda, shaking your head. Amanda,
yes,
what are
popular
do you get
question? Yes, people ask all the time. They're like, "There's a lot going out. Is this too much?"
Right. There's this,
Yep.
there seems like there's a lot going out. There's my follow-up that's happening if it's a non-responsive lead that they're on a, short-term follow-up process. And then there's marketing. So what, in your opinion, in your expert opinion, what's the right amount of touches in a month that a prospect should get?
First, I would say make sure you're keeping those two differentiated in some way. We want them to be able to tell the difference when marketing is speaking to them and when it's coming from the new home consultant or the online sales consultant, when it's coming from them in a more personal way. Even if that's like a mass mail from you guys, we want that to feel more personal with your name on it. And we want marketing to feel like it's coming from marketing. So we want it to feel, even if you're doing both in your role, because that's just how it is, you need to make it feel separate. For marketing, we usually say at least once a month, maybe 2 a month if you have great content coming from marketing. And the reason you don't want to just say, well, we'll just wait till we have something to share. I actually shared a story on the last podcast about Hidden Valley Ranch just randomly started emailing me, and I got like 6 emails in like 2 days from them, and I was like, how did I end up in the list, and who are you, and why are you emailing me all the time? So for marketing, it needs to be kind of this consistent, whatever that timeline is, consistent, where they're not shocked to hear from you when they get this newsletter and they haven't heard from you in a year. So it's consistent. Then online sales, that depends on what list they're on, who they are, if they're a new prospect, if they've responded, you guys know all that. But I think as long as you keep it as 2 different things, and marketing just focuses more on consistency, slower consistency.
Okay. Yeah, I think, we get that question a lot, and it's like, yeah, listen, if it's a new lead that's never engaged with us, the short-term follow-up process is, they're getting 9 different touch points in 30 days. So they're getting that personalized approach.
Yep.
And then after that, they're going into a monthly prospecting. And sometimes we get that feedback of, well, I don't really need to do, and this was me too. So my prospecting is taken care of because I know marketing is sending out stuff. Amanda, did you ever feel like were you like marketing sending out stuff, so I'm good? Or was it just me?
I mean, kind of, because a lot went out, so you don't want to bombard them and you think they're good, but it's a totally different feel when you are on the receiving end of that communication. When it's one-to-one and it's an actual person, like that's so much better to receive than marketing in your face all the time,
Yeah.
And you guys online, y'all can be so much more personalized than we can be what's coming from the marketing. We're much more at a higher level. Here's our company, here's the general things we're doing. Y'all have the gift of being able to personalize because from those lists and things, more about those customers, when they originally requested something, what they're interested in, pulling lists. So I would just say use that to your advantage. don't think of it as being the same thing that marketing's sending out, because it's different, and you can be more personal, one-on-one. It's coming from a human, whereas in marketing, it's just coming from the company. We're the brand, the company sending things out. You're the human, you're the person. They want to hear from you. So I would say definitely don't not prospect because you think marketing is doing something.
Yes,
Don't do that.
exactly. You have to still prospect. Sorry, guys, you have to prospect. But I love what you're saying, because like just inserting your, that human-centered communication, like our friends at Bomb talk about, but like inserting yourself into that email, video, even texting, voicemails, like all of those things are part of your follow-up, and it is still content. You're still marketing yourself, your builder, your homes. So it does go a long way.
And that's why good quality content matters, because they want to keep hearing from you. If it's good content and it pertains to them and it engages them, then they don't have that resistance to hearing from you, because they're like, oh, I always get good stuff from them. I'm going to open this up.
Right. And going back to something you said when I asked you the question about the links and, keep it simple. Wouldn't you agree, Julie? Like,
absolutely,
don't put too many pictures, don't put too many links. That can kind of confuse the customer, or it might start feeling a little bit like it's not a real person sending it, right? If you get too much pretty.
100%. Yeah. If you try to get too fancy with it, they're going to say this isn't from a human. It's different in a marketing email when we're giving them lots of options of like, here's the homes, here's the blogs, here's whatever. It's different for y'all. It's more simple. One person is giving you one message and sending you one place. So yeah, that's two different ideas.
Oh, I love Julie Jarnagin. Hey, if you guys love Julie Jarnagin, give her some hearts. If you have any questions for her specifically while we're on, feel free to chat those out, and we'll get the expert to answer some of that for you on here while we're together. Okay, anything else online sales specialists should know before we switch gears?
No, just I respect you guys so much. I know Amanda wrote that great blog and had that great opt about having a backup person. I was Elena's backup person for years. And so I have so much respect. Every time she came back, I would say, Elena, I love you. I couldn't do what you do. Like, it's hard work out there. It takes a lot of energy to pour that much energy into other people all day and make sure they're taken care of and making sure you're getting the right things to them. So that's all. I respect you. So the fact that so many online salespeople want to like embrace content as well, then kudos to you guys, because you work hard, and I know it.
Man, who wants Julie to come back to opt again? This is great. This is like, oh my gosh, just all the feels for online sales specialists out there. Last thing I want to say about this, and then we're going to move on to some fun questions, some fun facts, is I think online sales specialists should always to work with your marketer. Like, if you create something, get another set of eyeballs on it. Yes. Now, marketers, don't try to marketize it. I say this with all the love in my heart. Like, if your online sales specialist comes to you with a simple email that they want to send out to a list just to update or get engagement or whatever, keep it simple. Don't marketize it. It's coming from them. Julie, any advice there?
No, I think that is that's amazing advice. I think that the builders that have online sales and marketing work together really well. Yeah. I mean, you can see it. You guys know what people need and what they want and what they're asking. And if you can communicate that to marketing, then they can help with all that great content. And then utilize it. That's another thing. Like, if they have all these great photos and tools and renderings and all this, you don't have to recreate the wheel. Also, just don't expect that home buyers just have already seen it. Use it in your follow-up. So you don't have to create everything from scratch. Use what they've already worked so hard on and give them feedback about what you need more of. And they may be able to work that in as well.
I love that, because, I can remember even, again, Wild Wild West days, if we created a piece of content, like went out to the community and did a video with the sales exec and, did something out there, you create your content library, and you could use that same
Mhm.
bit of content on social. You can use it on, YouTube, in email, for prospecting, newsletters,
Absolutely.
whatever. Like, use it, like, spread it out, spread the wealth, use it in multiple places.
100%.
Good advice. Okay, fun questions, fun facts about Julie Jarnagin. Famous author and recovering online sales specialist, backup, apparently, right?
Right.
All right, favorite thing about what you do right now, what you get to do?
I love that it uses the creative part and the analytical part of my brain because I'm very much a list taker. A list maker. I love being in analytics and seeing the numbers, but then also I have that writer side of me that's more creative. In marketing, you get to use both. And then I just love all my builders. Shout out to all my builders as well.
Yes, yes. What are you watching on TV right now? We're always looking for.
I'm pretty boring because I just always have Top Chef and Great British Baking Show in rotation. Like, that's the ones I've seen over and over again, and I can play in the background, even though I don't really cook that much. And then my husband and I will take a cheesy sitcom and watch one every night before bed. So we're currently on Psych. So we're very like, I don't know the new hottest shows because that's just how we do things.
I love that. I watch Friends, like, on repeat. It just makes
Yeah,
me
it's like
laugh.
your comfort show, you
Yeah,
know?
I know.
Mhm.
Book you're currently reading
I just
besides Building Certainty.
I just read Not a Fan, which is like a Christian living book, but I'm about to start Fourth Wing because I have lots of friends who keep telling me I have to read it, even though that's not my normal what I normally read. I think it's very like Game of Thrones, right? Have y'all read it? Have y'all heard of
I
Fourth
have
Wing?
not. I'm
Anyway,
like
I'm about to
I'm
start that one because people
I'm
keep telling
Hallmark
me.
movie reading right now. Like,
That
that's,
I
yeah.
could send you some
Yes.
ideas, not mine, of other
Yeah.
people's.
Oh, Beth says she just bought that. So,
Oh, Beth's a
okay.
big reader. She's a good person to get
Yeah,
book
she's an
recommendations from.
avid, yes,
Mhm.
avid reader over there. Okay, what do you do to recharge your battery other than reading?
I do jujitsu, so I've done that for about
Woo!
5 years. So it's one of those things that when you're doing jujitsu, you can only focus on that. So if you're a kind of person that like has stuff going on in your brain at all times, it's like if you're trying to think about work or kids or whatever when you're trying to do jujitsu, somebody's gonna choke you or
Cool.
pretend
So
break
it
your arm. So
forces you to be super, like,
yes.
in the
It's
moment.
like my version of yoga or meditation, I guess. And then on the
Man,
opposite end of the spectrum, I mess around in my yard all the time.
are you
Flower
growing
beds, all
any
that fun stuff.
vegetables
Not
or any?
vegetables, it's all flower beds and pretty stuff. It's so
Me
hot
too.
in Louisiana, it's hard.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. What is one thing that most people don't know about you?
Well, with all the books and the movie thing, I'm strange in that I like to know the ending. So I do flip to the end of books and read the ending before I read the
What?
or if I'm going to a movie, even if it's a brand new movie out, before I go, I'll read the entire synopsis of the movie because I get so emotionally invested in it and like nervous. I can't enjoy the movie. So I like to know what's going to happen and I can just sit back
Oh
and
my
relax. So it's very
gosh.
strange.
What
A
does
lot of
that
people don't
say
understand
about
it.
you?
So
We're
if
gonna need.
anybody else, I can't be the only person who's like this.
Does anybody else watching do that? Oh my
Is it
god.
like a control freak thing? I don't know. Oh, there are
Jessica,
some people. Good.
what? Okay, we're gonna need to investigate this a little bit further.
It's weird,
Hey,
but
online sales specialists out there, I forgot to say this, but if you are out there doing some great content, whatever it is, share it. We'd love to see that. I know, Frankie, you've probably got some fresh stuff out there that you're doing. Post it here below. We'd love to see. Share what you're doing. And we will pick a winner to get Julie's book. We will send you a book. Julie, can we get an autograph? Maybe an
100%.
autograph?
I will
Autographed
mail
copy with a heart. And
I
I
will
love
mail it to you
online sales
myself.
specialist.
Yep. Yep.
So definitely post it here. We'd love to see that. Thank you so much.
This was so fun.
This was so fun. You guys see why we love Julie Jarnagin. We're so proud of her and her book.
Thank you.
And her passion for the industry is pretty evident. And thank you, Amanda, for sharing all of the latest numbers. You can go over to Do You Convert and see all of that data there. Also, Amanda's latest blog that Julie mentioned about creating your backup plan is posted on there live, step-by-step instructions on how to do that. So thank you so much. And thank you guys for joining Online People Talking. We will see you next time. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.